Hello everyone, today I have here a 2010 Chevy Malibu and I was experiencing some problems with startup on this vehicle. At random times it would just stop starting up, and I went through a few different procedures. First was changing the ignition switch, which is very common, and then I did the ignition cylinder as well. Those two didn't solve the problem, so I did some further diagnostics on this vehicle. Now, anyone who is running into this problem, please don't go ahead and buy ignition cylinders and ignition switches and start on those right away. You want to start with the basics. So first is testing the fuel pump, and how I figured out it was the fuel pump was I bought some startup fluid and injected it into the intake over here, and you can find the intake actually underneath here, so you have to actually pop this off. So once you get this off, you can actually pull this cover right off. So this cover goes right off, so you can just go ahead and pull that straight out, just give it a little push here, and that's the fuel intake, air intake over there. So you could actually inject some startup fluid into there and see if it starts up. So mine, I injected the fluid in there and it would start up for 1 second or so and then shut off again. So that gave me a hint to the fuel pump. I realized that there wasn't any fuel coming into the engine, and that's what was causing the issue. Now, what I've discovered is GM has poor relays. So I tested all these relays over here. Everything was perfectly fine over here, and at times you would find that some of the relays, when it would start up, the relay would be working perfectly fine. But then after I had the startup issues, at that point there was one of the relays that was kicking off. So that was the actual problem. So you might take it to a mechanic and it would start on that day, and then the mechanic would test it and he would be like, okay, everything's perfectly fine, but that relay can just go off on you at random times. So I'm going to show you which relay that is. So that's actually the first step. I actually changed the relay on this car. It's working perfectly fine now, so I would recommend doing that as well. That's your first step. So what I'm going to show you here is you actually have to go into the trunk. So I'll open up the trunk here. I'm in a very tight space here, so I'm just going to pull that up. So we'll open up the trunk. Okay, and once you open up the trunk here, in this Malibu, okay, so in the trunk, right over here, so once you get inside the trunk, on the left side over here, there's actually a little panel over here that you can open up. So once you open this panel up, there's a fuse box right inside. So open up this fuse box, and you can just pull out the relay for the fuel pump, which is this guy over here. And if your vehicle is an older Chevy, you might just want to double check on this chart over here to see which one the fuel relay is. And in my case, it's the 37. So 37 right there at the bottom is the fuel pump. So that's this guy right over here. So I'm going to pull back a little bit and I'll show you which one it is. So that one right at the back there, that's your fuel pump relay. You want to pull that one out. Also going to show you how to test relays. So what you want to do is once you pull out that relay, it has a little diagram on it. So I'll just find that diagram. It's right over here. So this diagram basically tells you that if you connect positive and negative to 85 and 86, so 85 and 86, yeah, so if you connect a battery to positive negative to 85 and 86, it will actually just short circuit 30 and 87, connecting them together, so giving current to the fuel pump and turning it on. So what you can do is just get a battery, a 12-volt battery, run wires from your battery to these two terminals here, 85 and 86. So if you look on the side here, 85 and 86 should be diagonal, so we'll have it these two here. So you just want to connect positive, negative. It doesn't, the order doesn't matter, just connect them to positive and negative, and you should hear a click. If you don't hear a click, that means your relay is bad. So 85 and 86, once again, most of the relays here are 85 and 86, and 87 and 30 short circuits when you connect 85 and 86. At the time you're testing, this relay, it might work. So if it is working and you can't start your car, then you might have the cylinder issue or the ignition issue. But if it's not working, go ahead and change that. Or what you could do is make a wire like this, and you know, you could just straight ahead just short circuit 30 and 87. So I could put this wire get along 87 and 30, and then plug that relay back into my fuse box and see if that starts it up. That's initially what I did. I actually short circuited this, and I went ahead to try and start up the car, and it started perfectly fine. After a few moments, I tested this relay again, and it was working. So I'm not sure what's going on. I'll have to go and buy another relay. But meanwhile, I am just borrowing another relay from my horn. So that's gonna just get me to the dealership, and then I'm gonna go and change that. So that is just one way you could diagnose this vehicle. This has given me a hard time. Like I said, I did a lot of different things on this vehicle, and didn't realize that it was just such a small issue. So I hope this helped, and leave any comments, and I'll be surely able to answer any problems you might have. And thank you for watching.